So if this shooting had occurred in New York State, a new law enacted in July of this year might actually allow lawsuits to be filed against the gun manufacturer. So forget about Kyle Rittenhouse. This new law enacted in July of 2021 in New York State would allow people to consider or to sue gun manufacturers on the theory of public nuisance, that they're manufacturing something that's a public nuisance, even if they didn't intend for that to be the case. And perhaps that's why Remington Arms, an iconic American brand founded in upstate New York 205 years ago, is relocating its headquarters now to Georgia. Remington Arms was founded in the New York village of Ilion. And it's the only reason you would have ever heard of Ilion, is if you know anything about Remington Arms. It's small, like 7,000 people. Founded in 1816. They're going to move $100 million into its operation in LaGrange, Georgia, and hire something between 800 and 900 people there over the next 5 years, not in Ilion. Republican Representative Claudia Tenney of New York blamed liberal policies for the company's move. No surprise there. A quote from her news release, she said, far-left progressives in New York, starting with disgraced former Governor Andrew Cuomo, they're going to be using that phrase over and over again for a long time, disgraced former Governor Andrew Cuomo, made it clear their mission was to destroy the Empire State's iconic firearms industry. Today, the Mohawk Valley is sadly seeing the disastrous fruits of their labor. Another quote from the news release, politicians in Albany continue to target, criminalize, and destroy our economy, way of life, and everything we upstate New Yorkers hold dear. There's some real truth to that. Albany and, of course, New York City being pretty liberal locations, but most of the rest of New York, of course, the population is all centered in New York City, and Albany is the capital. Most of the rest of New York is actually, there's a lot of farmland, a lot of hunting. It's a pretty conservative place to be. I spent a lot of time there as a young man. To go on with quoting, Remington Arms has been a staple of Mohawk Valley since 1816. Tenney writes, providing good manufacturing jobs to generations of New York families. I am deeply concerned that today's announcement may bring this long and storied chapter in our region's history to an abrupt end. Remington once employed more than 1,000 people in the village of Ilion, which basically grew as a company town for 200 years. Remington Arms currently employs only about a third that many there now. This is no surprise, given the utter predictability of this relocation. The only question is, why do New York leftists create these situations that they have to know are going to drive companies like this out of their states? Why would they do that, Tara?
Because they completely manipulate their voter base into thinking that, like, all of the things they're rooting for, free healthcare, free this, free that, are completely plausible, and they're not plausible. So when you're trying to force through these completely liberal leftist policies, you somehow have to pay for them. So then, you have these larger taxes and all of these other issues, and people are paying more. And so that's going to force these companies out. And I just think it goes back because New York has just been kind of cursed in the last few years just by leftism, because if I remember correctly, Amazon was thinking about putting headquarters in AOC's district, which was going to have like thousands of jobs, and she uniquely killed that. And so I
was proud of it. Proud to bragged about it.
Yeah.
She was so
happy. She was like, oh my gosh, I did this, like, yay me.
Right.
Here you go with Jeff Bezos. And it's like, okay, I don't think Jeff Bezos is really directly impacted by your decision there. I think it has to be more of your constituents.